So if you're looking for a new computer to buy in 2023, the decision can be relatively difficult, with a range of things to consider, such as your budget, its performance, its video editing performance, and its overall design. Well, what if I told you that the M1 Macbook Air, released back in 2020, could possibly tick all your boxes and overall could be a really good option to buy in 2023 right now. Welcome to my 3-year long-term review of the M1 Macbook Air. What's up guys, this is Mental Tech Reviews here and welcome back to a new video. We're back in 2023 and hopefully we're going to make a lot more videos. If you didn't already know, Apple made the transition from the generally older, less reliable Intel chips in 2020 to the new, much more powerful M1 chips, which means they now make all of their own chips for their own systems, which is definitely better for usability. Since this video will be a lot more about user experience than specs, let me quickly go through the specs of this computer so you can understand from my perspective how the computer is to use. The base model that I've been using for the last 3 years has 256GB of storage, which is definitely a good amount for a YouTuber or an upcoming YouTuber like me, and has 8GB of RAM, which is fine. It also has 7 GPU cores, which really helps with performance on a crazy level. Having GPU cores in your computer just really increases performance, and 8 CPU cores, which makes tasks like homework and typing really seamless. Okay, so let's talk about the design of the M1 Macbook Air. Personally, I would say the design is my favorite part of any laptop, but especially MacBooks. Whether that be because of the consistent uniformed Apple logo at the back of the computers, or the MacBook Air text written at the bottom of the screen, these things just add up overall to make a really standout design compared to other computers, and it's something I love about the M1 Macbook Air and MacBooks in general. Every part of this laptop feels extremely premium and is relatively sleek in comparison to other laptops. Personally, I'm using the space grey color variant, and overall this really stands out. I love how it reflects light in the best way possible and overall just has a great design. I can't emphasize how much I like the design of this computer. Another thing that Apple seems to have refined with this computer is the keyboard. The M1 Macbook Air has a really nice keyboard in my opinion. By the way, just to put it out there, it is backlit, which I would expect for the price, to be honest. If Apple did not have a backlit computer with this laptop, I'd be really disappointed. Using this keyboard is a great experience. Every touch has a nice tactile feedback, even though I'd say the travel does lack compared to other laptops in a similar price range. There is also a built-in fingerprint with this computer, meaning if you want to quickly fill out passwords on your web browser, it is super easy, and overall unlocking this device on a day-to-day basis is super simple, especially with this fingerprint sensor. Personally, I've noticed it works consistently well and I've never encountered any issues with it. This computer has 2 USB 4 ports and 1 headphone jack, which is kind of not very good for video editors like possibly me and you. But overall, I don't think this is a major problem since Apple has fixed this problem with having now an SD slot in its new lineups like the M1 Pro and the M1 Max, which is great. But obviously this is just going to be a lot more expensive. This computer has a 2560x1440 Retina display. This screen is great for watching movies and videos, for sure. And I find myself really enjoying viewing content on the screen. This screen is very color accurate as well, as it covers over 90% of the P3 wide color gamut, which means editing photos and videos on the screen will be absolutely fine. It also is incredibly sharp with an impressive 277 pixels per inch, meaning when you type documents and write emails, the text is extremely sharp. The Apple M1 Macbook Air also has a peak brightness of 400 nits. Pretty good, but not on par with the new M2 Macbook Airs, which average between 500 to 600 nits overall. The speakers with this laptop as well are very good and are definitely on the higher end when it comes to the speaker laptop spectrum. Voices are clear and music is balanced, but I would recommend using headphones like the Beats Studio Buds, and I'll pop a video that I made about this up here. Okay, so this is what the webcam looks like on the M1 Macbook Air in relatively well-lit conditions. In my opinion, the webcam with this computer is great. It may lack a bit of detail, but overall I think, the colors with the webcam itself for a laptop is definitely going to be fine. If you're more serious about doing Zoom meetings, however, since it only has a 720p instead of 180p webcam, it may lack in detail, but overall the webcam is more than fine with this computer. The microphones also pick up your voice very well, in my opinion, and overall have great sound quality. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, so let's talk about the performance with the M1 Macbook Air. The overall performance with this laptop is not flawless, especially when it comes to more power-intensive tasks like editing videos in Adobe Premiere Pro. But for day-to-day things like watching YouTube in 4K, which it does pretty well, and writing documents, making PowerPoints, etc, this computer does amazingly. And these are the little things that maybe a slightly worse computer would not be able to do very well. So I think that the M1 Macbook Air has enough power to do all of those things and more, which is, in my opinion, a massive selling point with this laptop. Photo editing, depending on the software, is pretty good, and Adobe Lightroom is pretty good as well, but sometimes I've realized when, editing pretty heavy files, it can start to just slow down a bit, but overall it is pretty smooth and is optimized for M1 anyway now, so it should be even better. But I think the 16GB version will definitely do a better job at multitasking whilst doing heavy tasks, which is definitely something that this laptop seems to struggle with. Gaming is relatively good given Apple's bad reputation of gaming on the computers. I've realized gaming is great on this laptop. Games like Asphalt 9 plays extremely well on this laptop. I wouldn't recommend, gaming necessarily on this laptop, since there are better gaming laptops out there with dedicated graphics cards, which will definitely be better for gaming. But yeah, gaming is fine on this laptop and will definitely be okay if you game once in a while. So as you might already know, the M1 chip definitely increases efficiency by having everything in one place. That'd be the RAM, the GPU cores, and the CPU all in one place in the M1 chip. This definitely improves battery life. I would say the M1 Macbook Air, even in 2023, 3 years after it's been released, is definitely a very battery efficient computer. Even though the battery is definitely a bit worse than it was maybe 2-3 years ago, I definitely see, I definitely can use this computer without a charger for maybe 3-4 hours before it starts to really degrade. But overall, yeah, the battery with this computer is very good, it's surreal. Overall, the M1 Macbook Air is an amazing you get what you give kind of laptop. You give £900, around £900, it can vary depending on whether it's used. You get a £900 worth laptop. This is a really, really good laptop. It allows you to grow with the laptop, as you become more experienced, and is extremely fast on a day-to-day basis. Then again, if you're not into MacBooks at all, thank you for staying for the whole duration of the video for starters. And also, you might want to look at equivalent Dell XPS laptops, because I've heard they're really good, or even Microsoft Surface laptops, since they will also have a lot of power. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This video did take quite a while, so I really appreciate you guys for watching the whole video if you're still here. Make sure to like and subscribe down below, more videos coming. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.
At first I said that I love you when you ain't say that shit back. It's kinda hard to just trust you when both your feelings don't match. Got me showing less emotion.